I have to say, I want to credit Fred Rogers
Mm.
with a form of it, because
Mhm.
he began that idea and we just sort of shortened it a bit, basically. But there is a Buddhist belief that what does not work its way out, works its way in.
Yeah.
And so if we do not let our feelings, acknowledge our feelings and let them out, including very difficult feelings, then they eat away at us inside. We can't make sadness go away. We can shut it off for a while. We can put it behind a wall. But what I say about grief and facing difficult things is you can't go under it. You can't go over it. You can only go through it, as the Helen Oxbury book, We're Going on a Bear Hunt, says. And I love that book, yes.
Yeah.
And so there is no way around it. It will be something you have to go through when it happens or later. And often when I give talks, adult residents, families, parents come up to me and say, when I was younger, there was a loss and no one talked about it. And in the book, we give some examples of that, where if you're able to talk about it, it becomes more accessible. I'm sharing it with you. We can metabolize this together. And so if I can learn to know what I'm feeling, and I can tell you what I'm feeling, I also can receive the kind of nurturance I need, or the space I need to have time to myself to process it. So it becomes manageable because we can communicate with other people. And when we carry things all by ourselves, because we think it's forbidden to talk about it, it just destroys our ability to form positive relationships as well. I'll add in one last thought. When we put a lid on difficult feelings, we also put a lid on the wonderful feelings in life. So if you do not let yourself feel sadness, if you do not talk about it, you also can't access happiness. And so it's this paradox. We want to just shut off the difficult stuff, but that is not the way our human minds work. Even children at the age of 4 have an understanding of death. They have seen death. They've seen death in nature. You've bought flowers and they died. Leaves fall off trees. They come across a dead worm on the sidewalk. If you watch any Disney film, they're rife with death. So you're not introducing them to something that they don't know about. What you're doing is providing them a space to sort it out with you. And we really advocate not using words like the person is gone or they're resting, because those words worry children, because we say gone and resting all the time. And then when they try to go to sleep at night, they get scared. Wait a minute, I'm resting. Does that mean I'm going to disappear for good? And so, giving your child words that are common parlance allows them to be understood by other people and for them to be able to name what happened. And so I think that it's very, very important that if you can tolerate your own feelings about what's going on, then you can give space to your child. And that's going to happen. If you create that bond early on, they will come to you at 8, at 12, at 16 and say, I was thinking more about when my sibling died. And I don't know, I have questions I didn't ask you before. What was XYZ? Why did XYZ happen? So you're creating a bond with a parent at that time, parent and child, that is a foundation for talking about any difficult stuff. This we really deeply believe. So even though we're focusing on illness, death, and loss, we think it enables kids and their parents to talk about, when kids become teenagers, there's tons of even more difficult stuff. And so in our way of thinking about it, you start whenever you could start talking about death before there's a death in the family, because death is ubiquitous. And then when there's a loss in the family or an illness, talking about it straightforwardly, not complicatedly, being prepared to answer some questions which make you feel like a deer in the headlights. Oh my God, what do I say to that? And I have some thoughts about what do you do when a child asks you something and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. And then making it clear that you welcome talking about it at any time.